what's going on, guys? It's Omario, and today I'm going to be doing another reaction video. Today I'm going to be reacting to the 2026 World Cup has a Ronaldo problem. But yeah, Pet Talks Football made the video, and his videos are just too good. He always knows what he's talking about, and his ball knowledge is insane. But before we hop right into the video, I want you guys to comment down below, who do you think is going to win the 2026 World Cup? But yeah, for me, I think that Spain is going to end up winning the World Cup, but I either want Morocco or Portugal to win, because obviously, you know, the GOAT Ronaldo has to win a World Cup. So yeah, let's see what Pet has to say about it.
What if Ronaldo actually won the World Cup?
That would be crazy.
Sound crazy, but Portugal have a
Not really. It doesn't really sound crazy.
Squad.
Nuno Mendes right there, Bernardo Silva, Bruno Fernandes, Pedro Neto. They have a great team.
They've also always had legends. Eusebio lighting up the 1960s, Luis Figo running the early 2000s, and of course Cristiano Ronaldo carrying the country for almost 20 years. Yet somehow throughout all of that, there's one trophy that's been missing, and that's the World Cup. They've won the Euros, they've won the Nations League, but the biggest prize in football still isn't in their cabinet. Now to some people, maybe it still sounds ridiculous to say that Ronaldo and Portugal can become world champions. But remember, the same thing was said about Messi and Argentina. If I told you back in 2018 that Messi would drag Argentina all the way to a World Cup title, you would have laughed in my face. Argentina were broken. Messi had been through heartbreak after heartbreak. Multiple finals lost, criticism everywhere, and the pressure around them was insane. In fact, when Argentina were knocked out of the 2018 World Cup by France,
man, the thing about Messi going to the World Cup and winning, man, it's just that everyone, I'm not gonna lie, everyone saw that coming. I don't know what Pet is talking about here, but everyone had Argentina as one of the favorites to win the 2022 World Cup. So yeah, even though Messi did, you know what I'm saying, he had a good team too.
The Messi era and the beginning of the Mbappe era. But then Qatar happened. Messi didn't just win the World Cup, he completed football's greatest fairy tale. His legacy was sealed. It was the end of the GOAT debate, right? Well, for Ronaldo fans, that debate will be blown wide open if Ronaldo ends up lifting that World Cup trophy. It's the one trophy he doesn't have, and when you...
I ain't gonna lie, man. As a Ronaldo fan myself, we need to come together, and we need to make sure that Portugal wins this World Cup. We need to do anything it takes.
Combined with him getting 1,000 goals, their case becomes very strong. World Cup, Nations League, Euros would be quite a resume for Ronaldo, especially considering Portugal hadn't won anything before he started playing for them. Now, Ronaldo himself has claimed that the World Cup isn't important to him anymore, that he doesn't see it as something that should define his legacy.
If you ask me, Cristiano is a dream to win the World Cup. No, it's not.
We all know that's cap.
Well, yes, to win the World
Cup, capping, man.
Change my
He's
name
capping.
Minister of Football. I'm not gonna lie.
But Ronaldo isn't normal. He's still scoring goals, breaking records. I mean, the guy's over 40 years old and still doing bicycle kicks.
Yeah, that is insane. This was crazy. Imagine getting scored on by a 40-year-old. And not just getting scored on, but a bicycle kick on top of that.
He's surrounded by another golden generation of Portuguese players, and honestly, they can be seen as one of the favorites. They have the best left back in the world in Nuno Mendes. They have Vitinha, who is arguably the best central midfielder in the world.
Yeah, their team is stacked.
Vitinha, they have João Neves and Bruno.
Bruno Fernandes. They have a right back, João Cancelo.
What if the timing finally lines up?
Stacked.
What if their talent, leadership, and a bit of luck all click at once? Because if Portugal somehow pulls this off, if Ronaldo lifts the one trophy that escaped them, then there's going to be some very uncomfortable conversations. Now, no matter how deep Portugal's squad gets, no matter how many young stars break through, everything always comes back to one man, Cristiano Ronaldo. And honestly, the biggest reason Portugal could win the World Cup is also arguably their biggest risk, and that's Ronaldo himself. Let's look at the Nations League. Most people didn't really take it seriously. It's seen as a glorified friendly. A nice trophy, some good vibes, but then everyone moves on.
But they beat Spain though in the final. And Spain actually tried.
Euro 2024 exit, the mood around the team was toxic. The fans were furious. People wanted Ronaldo gone. They wanted Roberto Martinez gone. The memes were flying everywhere, and everybody was calling for a full reset. But then Portugal went and won the Nations League, and suddenly everything changed. That one trophy flipped the narrative. It calmed the pressure around the squad. It bought Martinez some time, and more importantly, it kept Ronaldo as the captain and face of the national team. There was no longer a debate about his role in the team. No transition. Nobody asking for CR7 to be phased out, which basically meant one thing, and that's the fact that Ronaldo is locked in now. He will still lead Portugal into the World Cup at 41 years old. Yeah, it sounds crazy. Most players that age are retired, coaching youth.
But he looks great. He looks great for 41 years. I'm not gonna lie.
Someone like Ronaldo, but CR7 is still playing. He's still scoring, and based on his body language, he is still very much obsessed with winning. Since the Euros, he kept scoring goals. His output was still there, especially in qualifiers and of course in the Nations League. But there is still some tension around him. And
that experience in that striker position up top with Ronaldo, you can't replace that, man. He just knows exactly where to be every single time. He knows where to be in a cross. He knows where to be, in every single position. So that's why,
the World Cup
even though he's old,
Ireland,
he's still dangerous.
To be a statement game. Win and Portugal had booked their flight to the USA. Instead, Ronaldo snapped. He lost control and got himself sent off. It was the first sending off of his international career, and it came at the worst time. With the tournament around the corner,
sure he got a red before that as well.
Could carry over to the actual World Cup. He could potentially miss the opening group game. Fortunately, that didn't happen because FIFA reduced his suspension. Now we know why Ronaldo was in the United States for that dinner. I'm half joking, but they definitely reduced the suspension because of Ronaldo's status.
That is crazy.
Anybody else would have been suspended, but FIFA wants to see their top guys playing at the World Cup. Now the bigger issue came.
You can't suspend Ronaldo. Let's be real. He's the one that sells the tickets. He's one of the.
Got suspended because
he's the most famous person on the planet,
and they looked incredible. They absolutely destroyed Armenia 9-1. The football was fast, it was fluid, they were so aggressive. The players were rotating everywhere. They were pressing high, making so many runs, switching positions constantly.
Wow,
it looked like a completely different team, and it was a reminder that Portugal can still put teams in a blender even when Ronaldo isn't on the pitch. Because remember, they also smashed Luxembourg 9-0 in Euro qualifying without
that's
too,
Luxembourg,
which is still their biggest
ever
win. Now, yes, those are games that Portugal should win either way. Nobody's pretending Armenia and Luxembourg are world champions. But when you score 9 times, twice, without your captain, it naturally makes people ask, are Portugal better without Ronaldo? The squad is built for modern football. They're young, mobile, energetic.
I don't like the way he's talking right now.
Attacking waves. That kind of intensity is very hard for a 41-year-old to match consistently. He's not the same athlete he used to be. That's not hate, that's just life. Even in the Nations League, despite him scoring a lot of goals, his physical output wasn't close to the top guys. He didn't cover as much ground compared to other regular starters like Erling Haaland, and he can't press like a young striker can. We live in a time now in modern football where the striker also has to press.
He's spitting, I ain't gonna lie. He's speaking a lot of facts.
The thing with Ronaldo is that he gives you the other side of the argument. There is a reason that Martinez has leaned on him. He's been Portugal's top goal scorer in recent campaigns. He scored 13 goals in 14 games across the Nations League plus World Cup qualifying matches. He scored the equalizer in the final versus Spain. So if you're Martinez, you're thinking, why would I drop the guy who keeps scoring and has been my whole plan ever since I got here? The other issue though is style. When Ronaldo is in the team, the attack can start to feel like get the ball to Cristiano every single time. He took way more shots than anyone else in the qualifying matches, and he didn't register assists in those games. So it showed you just how much of Portugal's attacking volume is centered around him. And that can be a problem because Portugal's squad is stacked with other players. You have Bruno Fernandes, João Neves, Bernardo Silva. These guys can run an attack by themselves. If everyone is forced to force feed Ronaldo, you risk making Portugal easier to read in big games. Because everybody knows.
I mean, he's not lying. That's exactly what happens when I watch these Portuguese games or Portugal games and Ronaldo's playing. They always just like to feed Ronaldo, and it kind of feels weird. It kind of feels like they're scared because Ronaldo does, if he doesn't get the ball, he does, obviously get upset. So yeah, I can see where he's coming from.
You're just trying to set him up. That's
I don't think Portugal should be doing that
when Ronaldo's not playing, because anybody on the pitch can punish you. Now, if this was any other 41-year-old player, the debate would be over. But it's Ronaldo. He's still scoring, he's still dangerous in the box, and he's still one of the best ever at timing his movement for that one moment
timing, knowing where to be.
Like what he did in the Nations League final. At the same time, though, his last 2 major tournaments were not great, and the physical decline is real, because there's a world out there where Ronaldo as a starter every game slows Portugal down, and there's another scenario where Ronaldo as this late game finisher plus penalty shootout monster plus leader is the perfect role for him. But it's going to be hard to convince Ronaldo to take that role. That role requires humility, and it requires a coach brave enough to do what's best for the team.
That is true.
Not necessarily what's the best for
Very
Ronaldo.
true.
But it won't happen. Roberto Martinez is not benching Cristiano Ronaldo, especially after the Nations League win. He's built the system around CR7, and changing that now right before World Cup would be like swapping the main character halfway through a movie. The good thing is once you look past Cristiano Ronaldo, you realize just how stacked the Portugal squad is. This is not a one-man team anymore. They got stars everywhere. For the first time in Ronaldo's international career since like 2004, Portugal don't need him to do everything. Let's start in midfield. You got Bruno Fernandes, Vitinha, João Neves, Bernardo Silva. This might be some of the smartest midfield pairings in international football. Bruno is a monster. He presses, shoots, creates. He can decide a match with one pass or one shot from anywhere. The poor guy wasted his career at Manchester United, so people forget just how much of a monster he is. Hopefully Ronaldo...
Bro said he wasted his career at Manchester United, man. That's insane.
Just lets him take some free kicks. Bernardo is an opposite type of player. He dribbles through tight spaces, he keeps the ball under pressure, and he makes defenders look silly without even sprinting. There's a reason that Pep still
kind of fell off in
so
my opinion
at the club level.
But
then you have the PSG duo, Vitinha and João Neves.
Yeah, Vitinha,
PSG
top three midfielder in the world, might be the best.
These guys control the game, the rhythm. With them in the center of the park, Portugal can slow a game down or speed it up whenever they want.
That is something that I did notice about João Neves and Vitinha. They do have a lot of good chemistry, and playing them together in Portugal is going to be really dangerous.
These midfield
these guys are always together.
They play deadly
PSG,
at the
obviously.
club level, let alone at the international level. And that's just the center of the park. Then you
Portugal's
look
looking
front,
dangerous.
And there's even more talent. You have João Felix, who ever since joining Ronaldo in Saudi Arabia has found his form
link up,
again.
that chemistry.
We all know that Felix at his best is someone who can unlock defenses with a single touch. He floats between the lines.
And they have Rafael Leão.
And now that he has spent the entire season playing with Ronaldo, they're gonna have a great connection on the pitch. Then if Portugal need pace and power, they bring out Rafael Leão.
There we go.
I mean, this guy is a nightmare for every defender. Give him space and it's over. He's fast,
he doesn't get spoken about enough.
He's almost impossible to stop one-on-one. The attack doesn't rely on Ronaldo dropping a miracle every single game. Goals can come from anywhere. I mean, in the 9-1 win over Armenia, it was João Neves getting goals from midfield. These guys weren't playing at this level in the last major tournament. Then defensively, Portugal are still very strong. Ruben Dias is the leader at the back. We've seen how good he has been for Manchester City. He's very vocal, aggressive. He organizes the entire defense. And he's the type of guy that really elevates his game in the biggest matches, in those late knockout games. On the left, Portugal have the best left back in the world in Nuno Mendes. Another guy who helped PSG win every single trophy. Like half of that team were Portuguese players, because they even had Gonçalo Ramos off the bench. There's also João Cancelo. I mean, this guy is a wonderful fullback. Yes, he can be a defensive liability at times, but he's a real weapon in the right circumstances. He's somebody who creates.
I haven't seen this man play in a while. Ever since he went to Al Hilal.
That kind of versatility is gold at a World Cup.
No one really speaks about him anymore. But obviously, he just transferred back to Barcelona.
Back line, you have Diogo Costa, who's a great, calm, confident, brave goalkeeper. He's got the qualities to make those 1 or 2 match-saving stops, and that's what World Cup stories are built on. This is one of the deepest squads that Portugal have had. They have youth, they have experience, creativity, physicality, they're versatile. On paper, they can go toe-to-toe with Argentina, France, England, pretty much anyone. Another reason that Portugal can go all the way is their mentality. Under Roberto Martinez, the team doesn't really panic anymore. They've been pretty calm when the games get messy. And being able to find solutions instead of collapsing matters a lot at the World Cup. Martinez has done a great job of blending the youth with experience. Ronaldo isn't just there for the goals, he sets the standards. Younger players see someone who's won everything and still pushing himself like crazy. That kind of energy is contagious. It spreads to the rest of the squad.
I agree, and especially when you add Ronaldo to the team, and with a lot of these younger players, man, that mentality and that confidence going into the games is probably just insane for the Portuguese players, man.
Tactically, Portugal are very flexible. They can break down deep blocks, or they can sit back and absorb pressure. They have the ability to switch styles mid-game without losing control, and that's huge in a tournament where every match is like a different puzzle. If Portugal can bring that mindset to 2026, they will be a nightmare to face. And then, of course, there's something that a lot of people don't talk about, and that's Portugal's abilities from the spot. They have a lot of great penalty kick takers, and penalties are often the biggest deciding factor.
Ronaldo's going to be taking all the penalties, let's be honest.
I mean, they've got Bruno Fernandes, who's ice cold from the spot. They have Ronaldo, who's taken a penalty in every single high-pressure moment you can think of. Then there's Bernardo Silva, Vitinha, Rafael Leão. Even Ruben Dias isn't scared to step up. And then there's Diogo Costa in goal. He's got quick reactions, strong instincts. He should be able to save a penalty here and there. That psychological...
Just don't let João Felix take a penalty, because he single-handedly eliminated the Portuguese squad back in the Euros of 2024, man. It actually pissed me off.
psychological edge is massive. And then you
If it
have
wasn't
the
for
fact
him,
that
man.
Ronaldo showed up at that high-powered dinner in Washington, sitting near Donald Trump, Mohammed bin Salman, and even the FIFA president.
Why does he keep mentioning
Gianni
this?
Infantino. Maybe
I don't think it was that big of a
penalties
deal.
every single game. I'm just
Bro,
joking. But Portugal
come
really
on,
do
man.
have the squad, the mentality, and the tactics to go far in the World Cup. On paper, there's no real reason why they can't pull it off. And if they do pull it off, football history changes forever. Because the Ronaldo fans will argue
So we
that
will
the
come.
GOAT
We will
debate
come for
is
the GOAT
over,
debate.
and that Ronaldo is firmly the greatest of all time because he finally won the one trophy that he was missing. I mean, imagine if his 1,000th goal came in the final. Now, others would argue
That would be
unless
absolute
Ronaldo
cinema.
wins the tournament
If
as
his
the best
if his 1,000th goal came into the final, the script writers, man, they went full time because
like Messi
that would be
did,
crazy.
then it doesn't count the same. If he wins it as a passenger, it's just a nice trophy added to his collection.
Man.
As
He
opposed
can't-
to Messi,
he can't be on
who
the
did
bench
it while winning the golden ball. Now, personally, I don't think Ronaldo fans will care too much about the details. To see their GOAT win the one trophy he has never won,
that's all we need.
will be enough for them.
That's
A
all we
Euro
need.
And a World Cup for Portugal would immortalize Ronaldo in the eyes of the Portuguese. They had no trophies before him, and now they can have multiple. Now, of course, it won't be all sunshine and rainbow. There are many problems that Roberto Martinez will have to deal with if Portugal are to win the World Cup.
But yeah, guys, that's the end of the video. And honestly, after watching that video, I mean, my opinion is kind of a little shaky now because honestly, Pet talked about Ronaldo. When Ronaldo plays, I feel like he was kind of saying that the Portuguese team's level comes down, which is, when you look at it, it's kind of true. But honestly, Ronaldo, he needs to start just because he's just done so much for the Portuguese team. You know? He has that experience that you can't replace with any other player that I mentioned earlier in the video. And yeah, he's just that guy. He needs to win that World Cup because if he does win that World Cup, I mean, Ronaldo fans, you know what to do. We'll be back in that GOAT debate real soon. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. And don't forget to comment who you think is going to win the World Cup in 2026. Also, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next football video.